Oh, sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver Common Sense Show. I'm on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to...
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. That's right. I'm broadcasting from SHR Media, South Florida. All right. We are on YouTube and Twitter for Reaver of Common Sense, Facebook and Rumble under SHR Media, and Twitch with Jersey Joe 21. Jump on in the chats, join the conversation. I don't care if you want to disagree with me, agree with me. Just jump on in, join the conversation. While you're there, don't forget to follow, like, share, all those happy buttons. They're free. You know, my compliments to you. All right, what's today? Monday. It's always weird starting the show for me. Like, takes a second to get everything up and going. It just takes a minute. But we're going to start off with a little international news. Yes, I'm going to talk about Europe and the right-wing dominance in the elections that they just had. Is it a foreshadowing trend that could signal a mass trouble for Biden and a boom for Trump? That's what this article talks about. And for those that are just watching the show for the first time, understand what I do is I go through articles and I read the articles, I discuss the articles. That's it. I get so many comments about I'm making shit up on my own. No, I'm not. I'm reading articles from all different sources, and I discuss the articles. That's what I do. I might give my opinion on it. I might give some more information on it. But, like, TikTok day. Oh, you're misinformation. No, it's not. I'm talking about news articles. It's an article. I'm talking about it. How's that misinformation? If you got a problem, go talk to the news, the media. Well, not that I'm on TikTok anymore. I will not broadcast live on TikTok. I have fun throwing those little shorts up because I love pissing off liberals on there. It's so much fun. But I put an appeal in for last Monday when they shut my show down. And 24 hours for an appeal. Still no answer. The suspension is over with technically, but they never ruled on the appeal. So TikTok, go fuck yourself. Now, let's get back to the right-wing dominance in Europe. Former President Donald Trump and American Republicans feel buoyed by right-wing victories across Europe in this weekend's European Parliament elections that shocked France and other nations, a possible foreshadowing of the U.S. electoral landscape similar to how the United Kingdom's 2016 Brexit referendum preceded Trump's victory here last year. Let me just see something. I'm curious. I just realized today's the 10th. Let me pull up Fuck Talk. And wow, nope, it's still suspended until 9/10. They did not rule on my appeal. It's still there. It'll take about 24 hours to review your appeal. Well, they can take their appeal and shove it right up their Chinese ass. All right, the French people sent President Macron's centric party packing, delivering more than double Macron's party's vote to right-wing Le Pen's National Rally Party in this weekend's vote. Macron immediately moved to dissolve parliament and hold snap national elections later in June, would run off in July to attempt to test if the route was unique to European Parliament elections or if it represent an actual swing in the electoral in France, with the president there clearly hoping for a new mandate for his party to govern after the sweeping defeat at the polls this weekend. I think the Great Awakening is more than just the United States. People across the world, across Europe, across the United States, Canada, are waking up to this bullshit idea that the liberal, progressive have been pushing on it for a couple decades. Some people bought into it, and now some people are realizing just that it's not what they thought it was, that it was all a lie. It was all a sham. It was sugarcoating to make it look like the policies were there for the people, when all it was is the policies for the politicians to give them more power and to take the freedoms away from the people. I don't care who said it, but freedom is an illusion. Not freedom. Safety is an illusion. Safety is an illusion. And taking away your freedoms for safety is the dumbest thing I've heard. Because you're not going to get either. The more they take away your rights, the more they take away your freedoms, the less safe you are. Crime has skyrocketed underneath Biden. The reason why stats aren't exactly showing it is because the Democrat prosecutors aren't prosecuting crimes. So, of course, crime's going down because they're not prosecuting it. Or they're dropping them down to misdemeanors. And they think we're dumb enough that it's that show. That's like saying it's not raining out. I'm looking out the window and water's coming from the sky. It's raining. No, it isn't. Look, the weatherman says it's not raining. Just because some asshole says the stats are down, the crime's down, doesn't make it real, people. And it's just one example of the bullshit that's going on with this liberal policies that they're pushing. And again, when I'm talking about this, I'm mostly talking politicians. The people are caught up in the middle of this. And I'm not going to knock the people for it. They have a right to back whatever party. I don't agree with it. I can't exactly see where it's smart. But those are my opinions. And I that's what I do. I'm going to give you my opinion. What's going on here? But what's going on in Europe right now, and it's across Europe, there's massive right-wing wins. People are getting tired of it. They like their nation. I know it's been pushed. And how do you destroy a nation? You destroy national pride. How do you do away with nations in the European Union that wasn't supposed to be a nation? There wasn't supposed to be this mass political parties There wasn't supposed to be a army, a military. And what do you see going on now? More and more, they're trying to dissolve the laws and rules of each nation and just have the European rule. They're now creating their own military. Everything we fought World War II about, it's happening, and people are cheering it on. The only difference is now they put a bow on it. And the United Nation was supposed to be there to keep this shit from happening, and now they're the ones pushing this crap. They've gotten too much power, and now they want more. And if you think it's a conspiracy theory to say that the UN is pushing for a one world nation, look in their documents. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's not tinfoil hat. It's in their documents. And people are waking up to that and getting tired of that. They like their nation. They want to keep their nation. And they're getting tired of being invaded. And it's not just Muslims. It's all sorts of third world nations being pushed into these countries. And they get this pretty little bow put on it that it's just these countries, they need asylum. These people need asylum for this and reason, that reason. And have them just, they don't want to follow the rules. They want to do whatever the hell they want. And this election in the European Parliament has shown it. People are tired of this progressive push. If the Democrats do not cheat in the United States, I believe they have a massive defeat on their hand. Well, that's also if some of these damn uni assholes don't sabotage it. Seems like some of these assholes in the Republican Party, they love to run their mouths but not solve any problems. They don't want the leadership because then they have to actually do something. They just have fun sitting back, collecting a paycheck and bitching. And I'm tired of those types of politicians, and there's too many of them anymore. And if you take a look at this, what's going on in Europe, who's the one that really started this whole movement? Trump. Trump really started. Be proud of your nation. Be proud of your country. And it's sweeping across the world. People that thought they were the minority and being quiet are finding out that they are the majority. But it was just a bunch of idiots that knew how to scream louder than everybody else. And that's why I see from the left movement, it's not a majority. It's just a bunch of idiots that know how to scream loudly and get attention. So when it goes on the news, oh, that must be the majority. Look how loud they're screaming. But this is essentially a MAGA Trump movement that's going on. Period. All right. Oh, I'm hurting today. I am hurting. I went to have a fence put in my backyard yesterday, a new fence, PVC fence. And, I had to order a lot of parts because, God forbid, these home improvement stores have stock of popular items like vinyl fencing. 6-foot vinyl fencing, they don't keep in stock anymore. So I had to specially order it. I had to wait, get it in. I scheduled my installers for this weekend, and they sent me the wrong pieces. So I had to load my truck up with all the pieces, drive all the way to this place, and unload the truck and take it in. To find out that they don't have the right pieces in stock, I have to order it and wait till the 25th now. So now I got over half my fence torn down, holes in the ground all over the yard, and 3 dogs that are not happy with me right now because they don't have the yard go plan. It's like, Jesus Christ, thank God my installer. I shouldn't say my installer. He's a friend of mine. I call him a good friend. He's one of my neighbors. He believes neighbors should help neighbors. He thinks we've gotten away from that as a community. He knows my physical limitations, and he is always right there to help me. He has been a great friend, and I feel bad because he wouldn't schedule everything to do this, and now he's got to rearrange his schedule again. All because this company can't label things properly online. It just, oh. So I'm friggin' hurting from loading and unloading that truck. But you'll have that in life.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You can catch the Reaver Common Sense Show right here on YouTube and Rumble every Monday and Friday at 9 p.m. Be warned, he's the one your mother warned you about.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless right here on SHR Media, conservative media done right. We're broadcasting through SHR Media on Rumble and Facebook, broadcasting through Reaver of Common Sense on YouTube and Twitter, and on Twitch, we are broadcasting on Jersey Joe 21. After the show, we will post to Spotify, iHeart, Apple Radio, and Spreaker. Getting tongue twisted, I tell you. So the BBC is facing significant backlash. BBC mocked for outrageous suggestion IDF should have warned Ghazians before hostage rescue mission. Oh, people are so... I just don't understand it. Let's warn the enemy that we're coming to raid them so that they can be prepared and move the hostages. Anybody with a third grade education can figure out you don't go around announcing your attacks. It's simple as that, people. But they're getting a significant backlash because of its reporters suggesting to former IDF forces spokesman that the Israel military should have warned Palestinians before conducting Saturday's daring surprise raid that rescued 4 hostages being held in Gaza for 8 months. During a BBC interview on Sunday, the anchor questioned the IDF's decision not to notify Palestinians before successful rescue mission. In a high-risk joint operation on Saturday, the IDF and Yamama, an elite police counterterrorism unit, and police rescued 4 hostages simultaneously from 2 nearby locations. Would there have been a warning to those civilians for them to get out on time? And I just... Here, let me get this clip ready. Come on. Give me a second. Issues. Who's got the tissues? All right. Here we go. Give me...
the spokesman for the Israel Defense Forces, now a senior fellow at the Foundation for the Defense of Democracies, a think tank that takes a hard line against Iran. Welcome to you, Jonathan. Thank you for your time and for being with us. I'd like to begin by getting your reaction to the news of the 4 hostages and them being released.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you for having me. It is a glimmer of light in a sea of darkness and despair. And for the first time in months, Israelis have a moment to rejoice, and happy scenes of families being reunified. Very happy to see it. I'm very happy for the families who are now getting their loved ones back after what must be the most horrible experience of 8 months. Sadly, however, we still have 120 hostages. We still have Iranian proxies all around us aiming to kill Israelis and to kill Jews. And we still have a lot of work to do in order to return to safety and security in Israel. And as important as this event is, it is a drop in the ocean, and there is still a lot of fighting left for us to be safe in our homeland.
Jonathan, there is concern about the death toll among Palestinians. Do you think Israeli forces anticipated the level of casualties incurred?
Yeah, I think that the whole civilian issue here really needs to be analyzed impartially and understood. According to the reports that I have gotten, and also to the testimonials and even statements made by Hamas spokesperson, the Israeli hostages were held and jailed by Palestinian civilians in a Palestinian civilian area. And
listen to what he just said. Palestinian civilians held these hostages. And we'll find out in another article who one of those hostage takers were. It floored me when I found out. And now some people are looking like idiots.
As regrettable as any loss of life is, I think that we would have to investigate, really, who were the people who jailed these Israeli civilians for 8 months? Why did they do it? What was the role of the surrounding community and the hundreds, if not thousands, of Palestinians who, for sure, were aware of the fact that the Israeli hostages were being held in their midst? And why were they...
Exactly what he just said.
But Jonathan, we don't know that they were necessarily...
Listen, something like that with civilians in a civilian neighborhood, it's going to get around and everyone's going to know what's going on. Don't play that bullshit. Well, people didn't know. Bullshit. I declare bullshit on this one. This is more than evil shenanigans, too. More than evil shenanigans.
Complicit with Hamas, all of the casualties that were incurred. There are reports of women, of children who... And
I'm getting tired of, women and children. And how many times have we heard in the conflicts going back decades where women and children are used because they know that's going to get them sympathy. They know there's a less chance that the opposing soldiers are going to pull the trigger. Women and children do that. And to use that as an excuse, I get so fucking sick and tired of. I'm sorry civilians got killed in this. I truly am. But it's war, people. This is war. This is what happens. They're not targeting. They're not going, ooh, let's go kill civilians like Palestinian invasion of Israel did. They purposely attacked civilian areas. It wasn't just a collateral damage. They went there to attack civilians, kill them, rape them, murder them, mutilate them. But yet, now Israel is supposed to be held to this impossible standard. And dumbasses like this asking a dumbass question like that, it annoys the piss out of me.
Who are among the dead. It is appearing to be a high civilian death toll. Would there have been a warning to those civilians for them to get out on time?
For sure.
Warn the civilians that are holding the hostages. Does she even realize, or is this... who the hell was that idiot from that... Will Ferrell played the character. I can't think. I only read what's on the telescreen, I'm an idiot. Did she realize what she just asked?
Of course, we cannot anticipate Israel to be warning ahead of a raid to extract or to save hostages, because then what the terrorists would do is to kill the hostages, and that would defeat the purpose. So, of course, we cannot expect that. Yes, I agree with you that we do not know for certain that all of the people who may have died today were directly related to the effort to jail and hold Israeli civilians in Gaza for 8 months. There was a significant firefight. According to testimony of Israeli soldiers, there were RPG rockets, heavy machine gun fire, grenades being thrown. And I think we cannot rule out that at least some of the alleged Palestinian casualties were a result of a reckless Palestinian fire. They may have been.
Wow, that one surprised me. Palestinians killing Palestinians and then blaming it on Israel. Not that they haven't done that for decades. And the media just keeps drinking the Kool-Aid. And it's Ron Burgundy. I'm wondering if this woman is Ron Burgundy in disguise. Just reading what's on the teleprompter like a fucking moron. Oh. Oh. Drives me up a wall. It does. Oh. I just... And she's stupid enough to just keep going and going and going. And not realizing, I'm saying stupid shit, ain't I? Nope. Don't forget, everybody, hit the share, like, follow, comment. It's all free, courtesy of me. No, it's free, and it just helps the algorithm out. Helps get my message out a little bit more. All right, we're going to jump topics because this one's just giving me a headache. That one gave me a huge fucking migraine. Pelosi is doing damage control right now. Huge damage control. In one of the comments, they're trying to rewrite history. Why? Because something she said. Let me get this queued up. I'm just going to play it. And let you. I will discuss it, of course, but I'm going to let you decide what you think. Here we go.
Terry, we did not have any accountability for what was going on there, and we should have. This is ridiculous. You're going to ask me in the middle of the thing when they've already breached the inaugural stuff that should we call the Capitol Police? I mean, the National Guard? Why weren't the National Guard there to begin with?
They thought that they had sufficient resources.
That is not a question of how they had. They don't know. They clearly didn't know, and I take responsibility for not having them just prepare for more.
I take responsibility. This is her words, not mine. And why wasn't the National Guard there? Because she denied it. It has been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that Trump offered to have the National Guard there, put him on standby way before any of this shit went down. And she refused it. Let me play that one more time. We did not have any accountability. You're going to ask me in the middle of the thing. See, that's her playing a little charade, whatever you want to call it. She knew that there was a chance that there was warnings, there was something coming down the pipeline, and she refused National Guard being put on standby, ready to go to stop any shenanigans from happening. I take responsibility. Nancy Pelosi words, nobody else's. Nobody stating this is what she said. This is her own words.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You can catch the Reaver Common Sense Show right here on YouTube and Rumble every Monday and Friday at 9 p.m. Be warned, he's the one your mother warned you about.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
And welcome back to the Reaver Common Sense right here on SHR Media, conservative media done and right. We're broadcasting through YouTube and Twitter on Reaver Common Sense, Facebook and Rumble through SHR Media, and Twitch through Jersey Joe 21. I know, a lot to go down, but hey, if you go to Rumble, go to YouTube, you're going to find me. Also, if you go to Speaker, Spotify, iHeart, Apple, you can download the podcast after the show. Trying to make sense out of senseless sometimes is an impossibility that is almost unbelievably impossible. And I noticed one thing today on Twitter. And I got in a conversation with this idiot. And one of his big attacks was, let me pull it up. Listen, we can have differences of opinion, but his smart idea is, it's true. Good Christians with hatred and love of a felon. Why is it that they have no problem attacking Christians? They always blame Christians, but they never blame Muslims. And there is a lot of Muslims that support Trump, and there's a lot of Latino Christians. So are they attacking the Latinos? There's a lot of Christian that are black. Are they attacking the blacks? Why do they feel that they have to throw religion into this? Yeah, all right, I believe in God. I have my own beliefs. I'm not going to say that I'm Catholic. I'm not going to say I'm Protestant, Methodist, Baptist, any of those. I don't believe in mass religion. I believe in religion. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I don't believe in mass religion. And if I'm wrong, I'm the one that'll have to go to heaven one day and explain myself. And if I'm wrong for it, then I'll suffer for it. But I don't believe there's a God that's going to punish me because I didn't go to a church. I didn't sit below somebody while they preached to me. You know, I just don't believe in mass religion. I'm sorry. I'm not even apologizing. I don't. I believe in God, and I think I have a right to believe the way I want to. But I'm tired of people attacking Christians. I'm tired of people attacking religion altogether. If you don't believe, fine. I don't give a shit. At one time, I didn't believe, and I didn't want to be bothered with people pouncing all over me. I found my way. I had my issues. I had my reasons for not believing. I still have some questions, and I hate certain things that are said in religious contexts, and it annoys the shit out of me. But that's my opinion, and I keep them to my heart. And I have a right to them. I'm not saying anybody's right, wrong, indifferent. You don't want to believe? You might be right. I might be right. You know, no one's going to know until they die. That's when everybody's going to find out who was right and who was wrong. But nobody alive is going to be able to, you know, I don't want to say, you're not going to know definitively until after you die. if there's something afterwards. And I hope there is. I hope that this isn't just the only thing, because that is a little depressing to me. But again, I'm not knocking anybody that has strong beliefs. You have a right to have them. Go right ahead. You want to believe Buddhism, American Indian religion, Wicca. You want to believe in Christianity. You want to believe in Judaism, Islam. I don't care. What I care is how you treat people. And that's what people should be doing. Caring more how each other is treated. And yes, I'm just as much at fault sometimes for maybe not treating people properly. But my patience wears thin. I'm from New Jersey, and we speak what we think. Our filter isn't there. I'm a lot better than I used to be. Hell of a lot better than I used to be. But I'm going to do what I need to do. And I'm not going to knock somebody further. But why do you have to bring in religion like they do all the time? It makes you look like a dumbass. And they're having fun with this Trump conviction right now. Oh, and this guy was going on and 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 on, did I say, about the lying from the left and Fox and lying and Fox and Fox and lying. And his response to what I put it was, oh, you put a mem up. Well, it's more than a mem. I can go to the website and pull it up with all this. But here, I'll share it to you, and we'll read through it. All the bullshit on the left. All right, let's see. All right. Hopefully this is large. It starts off, the Russian collusion hoax. Hands up, don't shoot hoax. Jesse Smollett hoax. Covington KK Kids hoax. Very fine people hoax. Actually, let me check something real quick. I got the broadcast. Yeah, you guys can read it. The 7-hour gap hoax. Russian bounties hoax. Trump trashes troops hoax. Policeman killed at mostly peaceful January 6th protest hoax. Rittenhouse hoax. Eating while black hoax. Border agents whipping illegals hoax. NASCAR news hoax. The Georgia Jim Crow 2.0 hoax. Trump assaulted Secret Service agents, grabbed steering wheel of beast hoax. MAGA assaulted Paul Pelosi hoax. COVID lab leak theory is racist hoax. Hunter Biden's laptop is Russian disinformation hoax. Oh, that is in there. I didn't see it earlier. Joe Biden will never ban gas stove hoax. COVID deaths are overcounted is a conspiracy theory hoax. Mass graves of Native children in Canada hoax. The Trump killed all the fish hoax. Hamas hospital hoax. John Fetterman is healthy hoax. If reelected, Trump will execute people hoax. The Alpha Bank hoax. Lib of TikTok murdered non-binary teen hoax. The Aaron Rodgers Sandy Hook truther hoax. The bloodbath hoax. And along with the Hunter Biden laptop is Russian disinformation, let's go add in there the 51 intelligence agency heads that confirmed this is Russia disinformation hoax. And there's more to add in there. There's more and more and more and more. But don't sit there and try to act all smug. And he said these were all lies. And he tried blowing it off that it was just a mem. Which I was like, well, it's technically a screenshot, not a mem. Where is the difference between a mem and a screenshot? You know, screenshot, I think, is different than a mem. And I think I saved that article. Yes, here it is. And I'll pull up the website and show you. All right, stop sharing that. Let's share. This is the web page. Hopefully you guys can see that. And it comes from a Breitbart article. It's been a week since a fascist kangaroo court in Manhattan found former President Trump guilty of 34 fake crimes. Now, let me scroll down a little bit. You notice that lines up with the screenshot. So is it really a meme? Or is it a screenshot of a website? I'm going to need to get a little fan in here. Getting a little warm. Oh, God, I need to get in better shape. Between my back, I know I'm just not being active. It's killing me. Literally and figuratively. Now, the manifesto, was it Andre Hall, the 28-year-old woman who believed she was a man and shot and killed 6 at a Nashville Christian school on March 27, 2023. She had wrote about it in this manifesto and all her ramblings that she was going to create a diversion, slip out, go home, and kill her father. On Friday, it was released. A news anchor released portions of an interview between Metro Nashville Police Department investigator and Hale's parents, and the Tennessee Star published the transcripts. In the interview, police asked Hale's father and mother if they were aware that Hale was fixated on transitioning and asked if she ever expressed homicidal tendency. Her father, Ronald, said none of her therapists ever felt that they had like a duty to warn anybody. The police investigator then noted that Hale was consumed with the Columbine tapes. I don't believe in hiding stuff, but the left has made too much media attention over Columbine. Too much attention has been drawn to that. And it's created a false fantasy for some of these kids. And some of these young adults. It creates a false fantasy and gives them this idea. But I'm not going to blame all of it on that. There was something wrong with this child. And I can't even say child, because she's 28 years old. There was something mentally wrong, and not because she wanted to transition. So don't jump on me for that. There was something wrong with her mentally. And she had just... I don't know what would have fixed it, who would have fixed it. But she has had ideology to killing her father. She had this fascination with Columbine shooters, how she could empathize with them and how they felt. And she went and bought the tapes and the books. So I was curious if you guys ever heard about this, that they ever mentioned, if she ever mentioned these things to you guys as well. And this, I get tired of, maybe she was bullied. People bullied, they're going to... Bullshit, I was bullied in high school. I got beat up every fucking day on the way home from school 1 year. I was fat. I was short. I didn't believe in sticking up for myself. And I got beat up every day. Came back the next year, dropped a bunch of weight, and then I just happened to sprout up. And I didn't take any more shit from people. And I stood up to people. And I stopped getting beat up. I didn't even have to swing back. I just stood up for myself. And they stopped fucking with me. So I don't buy into that ideology. No, I don't. We're going to get into more of this on the other side of this short break.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You can catch the Reaver Common Sense Show right here on YouTube and Rumble every Monday and Friday at 9 p.m. Be warned, he's the one your mother warned you about.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
And welcome back to the Reaver Common Sense. Trying to make sense out of the senseless on SHR Media, conservative media done right. We're broadcasting through SHR Media on Rumble and Facebook. Reaver Common Sense on Twitter and YouTube. Twitch is Jersey Joe 21. And after the show, I will upload the podcast on Spreaker, iHeart, I always forget Spotify, and Apple. So after the show, you'll be able to download it and listen to it then. I got to figure out. I got to write that down and read through it just several times because I always fuck that up, stammering and stuttering and stammering. I know. I curse a lot too. But that's just me. I mean, I could do the show without it. I've done it. But that's not me. All right. She also goes on. The shooter from the Nashville Christian School. It was asked a bit further into the exchange. The investigators talked about Hale's journal, specifically noting that she was very scheduled and methodic. Speaking to Ronald, investigators said on one schedule, she wanted to wake up early in the morning to slash Dad's tires before the incident happened. She wanted to create a diversion after the incident to make it out of school, but come back and harm Dad. I believe kill you is what she, and then a second investigator finished this all saying to Ronald, we'll be open. It was she wanted to kill you. The investigators revealed there were times when Hale would record herself sneaking up behind her father, practicing how she would harm him and then retreat to her room. This is not a gun issue. This is a mental illness issue. And then I'd say 9.9 out of the times for these shootings that happen, it's a mental illness issue. And there's usually some signs that something's not right. All right, let's see what else is going on. She also, it's found out, she bought her guns with federal grant money. A report from Tennessee Star indicates that the 28-year-old transgender woman who shot and killed 6 people on March 27, 2023, bought her guns with federal grant money. CNN noted that Hale bought a total of 7 guns between October 20, 2020 and June 6, 2022, and all were legally purchased. Legally purchased. So you mean all these gun rules didn't stop shit? Because if someone is going to want to do it, they're going to do it. And they don't have to have a record to be a criminal. They can never done anything before and decide, well, today's the day I'm going to snap and go kill people. So there's no stopping it. The only thing you're doing is making it harder and to the point of trying to ban guns for law-abiding people. On the chance, the low chance. It'd be like saying, okay, all men have to cut off their penises because men have raped women. Sounds kind of stupid, doesn't it? That's what they want to do with guns. Take guns away from law-abiding people because there's a small percentage that does crime. I know. Let me guess. You're going to go to the assault weapons. Assault weapons. So where the hitting a mic stand? Assault weapons, last time I saw the stats, and it's been a year or two, assault weapons consist of 3% of long rifle murders, 3%. Let's go 5%. That's out of like 300 people killed by long rifles. Only 5% of that are killed with assault weapons. And I think the stats are up to 40,000 roundabout. I'm not going exact number, 40,000. And a majority of them, over 50%, are suicide. More people are killed by handguns and firearm murders. More people are killed by hammers. More people are murdered by cars. It just, the anti-gun is bullshit. But what's funny is she bought it with grant money. She hid the guns in her family home, and a day after the heinous shooting, her parents said they were unaware. They thought Haley had bought one gun in the past, then sold it. But Haley had guns. She took 3 of them with her to carry out this heinous attack. And despite numerous established media reports, including CNN, which claimed Haley was in possession of an AR-15 military-style rifle in the school, she did not possess an AR-15 rifle during the attack. Breitbart News explained that Hale carried an AR pistol, a handgun, and a carbine. Still shots from security cameras in the school indicate the carbine, a Caltech Sub 2000, was the firearm she used as she roamed the halls searching for would-be victims. Now, I could be wrong. I believe the Caltech Sub 2000 shoots a 9mm. I might be thinking of a different gun. I mean, I am not a gun guru by any means. Hang on, pulling up information on it now. Yes, I'm over 18. Does it shoot? I might be wrong on it. Might be wrong. Maybe not. No, it shoots a 9mm. So the big hoorah about the 5.56 blown out of the water because this was a 9mm. That's what I thought. I thought the Caltech was a 9mm. Again, I'm not an expert on all the different weapons and calibers, and I'm sorry. I got other things to do than I like guns. I like collecting guns. I like to know about the guns I have or the guns I want. But I'm not into going into every type of gun and what caliber and all the calibers. I couldn't tell you all the calibers. I really couldn't. I have 5.56. I have 12 gauge. I have a 40 and I have a 45. Do I have a 9? No, I don't think I have the 9 anymore. Never liked the 9. How I picked out my original gun was there was a big shortage of ammo. I had moved from New Jersey to Florida and experiencing the freedoms in Florida. So I didn't know what caliber I wanted. So I asked the guy, there's a shortage. I said, what's the most common round that you have no ammo for? And he's like, the 9.45. I was like, what's the one you usually have in stock? He goes, the 40. Nobody wants 40. I said, is there any problem with the 40? He said, no. Everybody wants the 9. I said, I'll take a 40. The reason I had the 45 is because I've always wanted, and I finally got a 1911. So I got it in 45 caliber. Yes, they're all secured. You just don't know where. And I got a 12 gauge. I got a AR-12 just to piss off the liberals. And the way I look at it, when I go shooting, I've also forgot I got a 300 blackout. So I got 3 AR style, and they're all, 2 of them are rifle, one's a shotgun. So when I go shooting, I switch between the guns. It's the same grip, stance, just the round's different, and the kickback's different. So I believe in responsible adults being allowed to carry. Law-abiding, responsible adults. I've told the story plenty of times. My father in the 80s went to work. It was him and his boss that only worked there. And these machines are several tons. It's not like you can go steal one of these machines. There's no cash in the business. It was a service center for these shot blast machines. I'm not going to get the company's name because it wasn't their fault. They had nothing to do with it. Guy came in with a gun in New Jersey, which is illegal to carry guns. To get the permits, it's got a better chance of seeing God to getting a permit in New Jersey to carry concealed. And he walked in and held my dad and his boss hostage. The guy then shot my dad's boss 2 rounds, point blank, in between the eyes. My dad said that he saw his boss get shot, and he withered like a candle melting. That's how my dad explained it to me. No throwback, no Hollywood, nothing, just the light switch went off, and he just wilted. The guy turned, took 2 shots at my father, walked out, never to be seen again. Never got caught. New Jersey doesn't care about criminals. Hamilton police, they only care about harassing people for speeding tickets. They're a bunch of assholes. Guy was never caught. My dad was forced there to stand there. Couldn't defend himself in any way. If he had a gun, he could have at least tried. If both him and his boss were carrying, there's less chance somebody would have walked in knowing that they were armed to just carry out a crime. And the criminals don't care. And people committed to committing murders don't care about the crimes. Because if the laws worked, if laws worked to stop criminals, murder being against the law is the only law we would need. That would cover everything. Cover everything. Now, what's best is I got in a discussion with some anti-gun nut job. And when I told him the story of why I feel the way I feel, because I will never be a victim, my wife and daughter, if I have anything to do with it, will never be a victim. And I got told, I don't have a right to have a voice in this conversation. I'm too emotionally charged. But the families of murder victims that are anti-gun have every right to have their, because they're calm, they're collected, they have their thoughts together. See how that works? I'm banned from several anti-gun sites, Mothers Against, all those, I can't think of the Bloomberg anti-gun groups. They've blocked me. Not because I scream, I shout, cuss out, because I simply ask, how would their laws have stopped that? How would those laws have stopped my father from getting shot? Because those laws didn't stop this woman from murdering children. Those laws that are in effect, that they scream that they need, did not stop. And a majority of the mass shootings that have happened, they have passed the laws. And when I mean that, the people that got the guns legally, they got them legally and still committed the crimes. But simply asking that question got me banned and blocked. Because they don't want anybody that could blow their water out the mess, blow their message out of the water. But I'll keep telling that story. I will keep telling that story, and I will keep telling that story. Because it's everybody's right to protect themselves. It's everybody's right to be able to defend themselves. Whether it's in their house or out in public. Just because I leave my house does not mean I am defenseless. The only thing I'd like to see out of Florida now is go 100% constitutional carry. So Governor DeSantis, you promise constitutional carry. You got halfway there. Now go the rest of the way. It's not going to hurt anything. It's not going to cause more murders. It's not going to cause anything except people being able to defend themselves. Open carry. Simple. With that, I want to wish everybody a happy week. I'll see you Friday, 9 p.m., whether it's on Rumble with SHR Media, YouTube with Reaver Common Sense, Twitter, Reaver Common Sense, Facebook, SHR Media, Twitch, Jersey Joe 21, or go to, I think it's SHR Media on Spreaker, Reaver Common Sense on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, I believe it is. Till Friday.